World number 2, Wang CHUQIN arrives to rapturous applause. Followed by the cameras, the fans packing this infinity arena, ready to see him in action. This is the men's singles round of 32. The winner of this goes through to the round of 16. The field whittled down as we work our way towards Sunday's final. While QUADRI Aruna of Nigeria is cutting a relaxed figure ahead of this one, as is Adam Bobrow sitting alongside me here.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's exciting to be here. I don't think it'll be too relaxing for these two out here in their first ever WTT meeting, which is crazy when you think about both of these players being way up at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, absolutely. QUADRI Aruna, their highest ranking that he's ever achieved, 10. Wang CHUQIN, of course, spent a long time at World number 1. He's recently been bumped off the top spot. Recently, 47 consecutive weeks at the top of the standings.
Wang, please come for the toss.
To Lin Chidong, and will be hoping to make his mark here in front of the home fans.
Red or black? Red. Red for Aruna, black for Wang. Black. Wang chose to receive.
Wang CHUQIN, Adam opts to receive first. Do you think that's an interesting decision? Talk us through tactically what that means for this match.
That's a pretty common decision. I think some people like to give away the serve, choose to receive for a lot of reasons. One, should it come down to 9-9 in the deciding game, the last two serve combination that any player will have will be yours. That's if you give away the serve. You also have a chance to practice the receive, not sort of relying on having the advantage of serve first. So pros and cons, I think for different players, different opponents, there are going to be different choices. But the 24-year-old spent more time at World number 1 than anybody in recent times. And here's a look at some of his results.
Yeah, really impressive. Won the finals in football for last year, semi-finals of the Singapore Smash just last month. And of course, last year's runner-up. You'll be hoping to go deep in this tournament.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big event for him, and I do think that he stands a strong chance, no doubt about it. The Shidong show has been continued for some time. Let's talk about the King of Africa, QUADRI Aruna. 36 years old, one of the biggest forehands, if not the biggest, in the world. And he's been trouble for players as stable as the Chongqing could. He's beaten his Chinese opponents more than most. And with all this prize money on the line, he'll be motivated.
Motivated as well, playing here in Chongqing, in China, the home of table tennis, with this really raucous crowd, who of course will be cheering for his opponent today. But that can be a motivating factor as well, can't it?
It sure can. It's a nice feeling to be like, no, you know what? It's going to be that much sweeter if I can cut through all this noise. And the fan vote here, pretty one-sided.
Pretty one-sided, but there is still a small number who are rooting for QUADRI Aruna here. And how, Adam, will he need to approach this one? Because as you said, it's the first WT meeting between this pair. They don't know, they've never played each other.
Yeah, this is a big stage to be facing on. I think the receive game is going to be crucial for QUADRI Aruna. He's going to have to get in, either flick or touch it softly. Surprisingly, the long push is going to be his friend from time to time, but he's going to have to mix it up well and keep Wang CHUQIN guessing. When he takes the first spinny forehand, he can expect the ball to come back more than it would against other opponents, and he's going to have to. It'll take a strong performance, but QUADRI Aruna has had plenty of that to earn his world ranking and his nickname.
Love 4. 1 love.
Good kick serve right out the gates here that accelerates on the second bounce.
Well, it was a tentative rally, Adam, to start off with.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this is going to be important, though, for QUADRI Aruna to not feel overly anxious. Yes, short rallies are going to be good, but you don't have to take the first attack every time.
Let 1-0. Let 1-0.
shot from Wang Chuqin, some real strength behind that one.
Yeah, his forehand is no doubt one of the top in the world. Two very different forehands. Power on QUADRI ADUNA's side, not a conventional forehand. Tough to rally with, but Wang Chuqin taking the opening.
And I'm not sure he'd be bothered by losing that world #1 spot. He spent so long at the top of the pile, now he's been bumped off.
He will be bothered less than he moved in the world rankings. And a shot like this just goes to show you that world rankings, while they matter to many within the Chinese national team, taking titles, taking names, and bringing it home for Team China is a big deal. Heavy spin comes in, short stroke back.
3-0.
It could be a motivating factor, but again, I think there are bigger motivating factors for the best in the world. QUADRI ADUNA doing a wonderful job. He's a player that many would say is the most forehand dominant player in the game. He'll do whatever he can to avoid his backhand, but when he does use his backhand, that flatter punch shot doesn't have the same trajectory as most.
Let 3-0.
So it's going to be tough to rally with, that flatter punching backhand.
Well, we saw it in action there, didn't quite come off for QUADRI ADUNA.
Wang Chuqin gets the first one back, keeps his opponent a step behind the table and in the backhand corner. That's what he wants.
4-0.
QUADRI ADUNA doing really well to keep pace in these opening stages. Still a long way to go, of course, but it's a great start.
Ooh, the speedy backhand. This is a special occasion. He's got the shot. It's not his usual, it's not his comfort zone, but he gets a lot of topspin on that last ball just to change it up and keep Wang Chuqin guessing.
5-0.
QUADRI ADUNA at full stretch did well to keep himself in it.
He's had points over the years that have turned heads and have been remembered and recorded. Awards given to him for rallies similarly, but Wang Chuqin still escaping that wide forehand. For me, this is big for a few reasons. You could feel, not only could you hear it, but you could feel how much it means to Wang Chuqin. And the reason is, he dealt with two QUADRI ADUNA forehands, the full shoulder and behind the head. This is a very difficult shot for most to counter.
Let 5-7.
You can see he's a strong, imposing player. He's big in stature. He's not your typical table tennis player build. Got so much power behind him, QUADRI ADUNA.
It's a very self-taught style, it seems. In terms of techniques, when you grow up in a system, again, it's incredibly difficult to make it to even the B team in the national team for China. QUADRI ADUNA has taken himself a long, long way. Therefore, his game is unlike any other. It's not quite the same, and many struggle. They've been back and forth. QUADRI ADUNA was leading at 5-4. It's still a tight scoreline. I think the interesting thing to think about is Wang Chuqin has been far from invincible in the last 2 years. He's been incredible, but he's been beaten by a handful of players that you would definitely call upsets, where they were not the expected winner.
9-6.
Nice parallel here. Again, it's dangerous to go to the forehand of QUADRI ADUNA, but if you see him pivot, it's a good opportunity.
10.
Wang Chuqin firmly in control, 4 game points. Another interesting rally. Started off tentative. Wang Chuqin pushing QUADRI Aruna further and further back. He wraps up the opener.
Not an easy ball to escape. Wang Chuqin has QUADRI Aruna back there. This forehand, that you'll see in just a moment, the table's open, but the placement's good. It's into the elbow. It forces QUADRI Aruna to lean to the end.
衔接一下跟住就行始终保持这种连续就可以了他就有的时候你放慢或者有时候拉发死力的时候不会收益多次你着急这种没事这有1、2个也正常其他都一样包括接发球也注意他有时候不发或发长的或发这个发钩的或者直接发奔你半手长的也要小心你一拉完他侧身反拉你
Here is the race to 100 WTT win. Wang Chuqin, 86 wins under his belt. He's 15 wins away from reaching 100. Shidong just 3 wins away from reaching triple figures. It's so impressive. Those kind of numbers are pretty incomprehensible.
It's crazy to think that somebody who had been world number 2 for some time is 11 wins ahead of a man who was in the world number 1
Second
for
game,
quite some time.
Wang to serve, level.
The shots are just so difficult for Aruna to deal with.
Yeah, they'll continue to be. It's the quality that Wang Chuqin brings. He's got so many answers. He's fast, he's aggressive, he chases well, right near the table.
1-0.
The point that I bring up, though, about the race to 100, you might wonder why is that Lin Shidong had been world number 2, but is that far ahead in the race? It's the events that he played.
1-2.
He wasn't world number 2 that whole time. The Lin Shidong show, the Shidong show, started with him playing a lot of lower tier events. So that means they're not worth as much when he takes titles. And therefore the win count is different than, say, their value for each title. But he's come a long way since then to be the world number 1, Lin Shidong. But here Wang Chuqin fighting, strong contender.
3-2.
Both so young as well. Lin Shidong, 20 years old. Wang Chuqin, 24. It really is impressive. The strength and depth of table tennis in this country, and just how young these players are when they reach the top as well.
It's a short lifespan. It's a very limited time opportunity to play for the Chinese national team. If you look at when Liu Guoliang retired or Deng Xiaoping, they were quite young, right around the age, I think Deng Xiaoping was 24. That's Wang Chuqin right now. We call him young, fair enough. For most teams, that's quite young.
3-4.
Little fortune here for the King of Africa.
Five, 3.
Stuff.
5-4.
An extended rally like this with a little break off the top of the net on the last one here. Just enough to completely change the rhythm. So Wang Chuqin showing, man, when's it my turn? A little bit of frustration out here.
5-0.
Struggling to read that shot.
I think that's the most vocal we've heard QUADRI Aruna. This, for me, is not just because it's a tight fight, but he knows how crucial this game is. Now, this is the QUADRI Aruna that I know. Just getting the shots that he wants, setting up that third ball forehand attack that so many have struggled to deal with. 2 times in a row.
5-7.
Now, this, for me, table tennis is incredibly mental in the sense, 1, it's crazy, of course, but 2, that it's a brain game. And Wang Chuqin was banned from the game for being a bit emotional and more so the behavior. When Zhao Zihao beat him, he threw his racket on the table and he took some serious time off and came back. Just an all-around better player in every sense. And that was very much in the brain. I bring that up because he's going to have to figure out how to shut down QUADRI Aruna's forehand. And if that means taking the opening, if it means going backhand to backhand or occasionally wide to the forehand, the timing's going to have to be just right. It's a 3-point lead for QUADRI Aruna.
We'll make that 5-4 rather. Can't do the maths. But do you think, Adam, we might be seeing a timeout on the horizon?
I would not expect it. It's 7 of the last 8 points for QUADRI Aruna. The only way I would imagine it is if Wang CHUQIN gets another point or 2, then on QUADRI's side, I would definitely call one. But for Wang CHUQIN, doesn't seem likely this game.
7-9.
Yeah, I'd call one right about now.
Time up.
There it is. He needs to capture this game, whatever the tactics are, to get back in that forehand third ball attack, to pick the rallies, the battles that he's favored to win. Easier said than done, but that's why you got a coach on your bench.
In his forehand, you start with it good after, in the middle. Okay, come on. We have to take this. We have to. Show them you are the king of Africa and the world also. Come on, man. Yeah. Think what you want to do and do it immediately. No hesitation. Come on.
Well, the King of Africa needs to get this. What do you think about that message from the coach?
Well, there were a few things. I think a lot of it was cheerleading, emotional.
7-9.
Reminders, encouragement. You know, show them you're the King of Africa, all that. But also, know what you need to do and do it quickly. Do it immediately. Short rallies is what he's saying. Turns for the forehand. Wang CHUQIN recognizes, anticipates, and quickly adjusts to go with the parallel out of reach.
Great comeback from Wang CHUQIN to earn himself 2 game points. QUADRI Aruna with the timeout hasn't been able to make it count.
So no game points just yet, 9-9 if I'm not mistaken. But he's tied it up after 4 straight, which is quite impressive. And that forehand step around is dangerous. Few can really answer it.
And there's the game points. My maths is not good today, but it is game point for Wang CHUQIN.
You're the oracle, you called it. I mean, at least a game point, so wow. 5 in a row.
Oh, what a shot.
10-0.
Aruna. What a way to save game point.
Now, you asked about the timeout earlier. In theory, if Wang CHUQIN has 3 different game points and he's not able to capture, the next time he has one, they might call a timeout. But otherwise, so far he's in a good position here with the momentum.
11-10.
It's not too late for QUADRI Aruna. The timeout hasn't been cashed in yet, but he's got his first game point this game after being up 9-5.
This is full of twists and turns. Wang CHUQIN obviously backed himself with that one, not calling a timeout, not trying to disrupt Aruna's momentum there.
Let 11-0.
Yeah, he he did a wonderful job to move in to use his backhand to get that extra security on the spin. Alternating serves here until one player has a 2-point lead.
11-12.
CHUQIN has another chance to wrap this one up.
It's tough when you're in QUADRI Aruna's position, and he goes to the Nigerian backhand serve.
13-11, second game to WANG.
WANG CHUQIN is made to work hard for that one. Takes a 2-game lead, but what a dramatic end to that second game. WANG CHUQIN opting not to cash in his timeout. And vindication for him. Takes a 2-game lead here, but credit to QUADRI Aruna.
都行，他拉我跟正一板，衔接一下就行了。而再有发球里头，你一定要有发球。感觉如果说侧身位发，他正好拖在你中间，你不舒服，我站在中间位发也行，对吧？站中间发中了，他一拖你这个反手时候，我就不负责。
Third game, Aruna to serve, love 4. Love 1. Let ball inside table. Love 1.
Sounded like the warning was for the ball inside the line when tossed.
1-0.
A lot of rules in service in terms of where the ball is tossed, how it's contacted, the visibility to the receiver. Many players getting their fair share of warnings over the events.
2-1.
Beautiful spinny backhand for the second time this match. We've seen QUADRI Aruna use the backhand like a whip rather than a hammer. Long push, and man, does he get a lot of racket speed on that.
4-2.
Some quick timing here. WANG CHUQIN on the balls of his feet. Way out in front for the first backhand, and then the follow-up. So quick to take that on the rise. Qing Jijian there on the far left of the screen. Secretary General for CTTA.
4-3.
QUADRI Aruna giving a really good account of himself in that rally. Moving really well. Great balance as well as speed he showed there.
Yeah, this is the fight he wants to pick. He wants to get those forehands into play, and he's got strong legs to step around and set up that shot.
3-5.
Just a question of timing, finding the right opportunity to play your shots. And not finding like they're just laying around at this point. You basically have to earn them. You have to set them up.
4-5.
Nice low tight serve on this one. The underspin, QUADRI Aruna with an outright service point. Backhand punch first and then the spinny forehand. Again, an unusual combination, but that's part of his game. It's worked quite well for him to get him this far.
Ooh. 6-5. 6-5.
Fortune here. That one just crawling over the net and staying super close.
Very lucky bounce indeed. Great point for QUADRI. ADUNA still in touch here. And that was impressive, straight into the body of the world number 2.
7-0.
Long pushes again can be very effective. Check this one out. Into the middle. Catches him for just a moment. Maybe hesitating to think, is the ball coming back to my forehand? And the surprise factor there good from QUADRI.
Let 7-0.
Safe spin on the opening and a full stroke forehand. Second time, just a little bit more abbreviated, but still comfortable for an in-position WANG CHUQIN.
Superb shot.
7-9.
Right in the corner of the table.
Yeah, demonstrating how topspin can give you that extra advantage. This backhand so secure. You can see the arc on it safely comes down. He can do that time and time again.
7-10.
And just like that, it's 3 match points from WANG CHUQIN. QUADRI ADUNA did so well to stay in touch. WANG CHUQIN pulling away now on the verge of wrapping this one up. To the net, it's a straight games win for last year's runner-up, world number 2, through to the round of 16. Straight games win doesn't necessarily always tell the story of the match, though, does it? Especially that second game, so close. Game points for QUADRI ADUNA. He couldn't take his chances. And it is an impressive victory nonetheless for WANG CHUQIN, but a more even contest than the straight games win would suggest.
Absolutely. QUADRI ADUNA fought the good fight, while the first and the third one as close as he would have liked. As you mentioned, a game point in game number 2. WANG CHUQIN, this is where all the hard work, the time to sit and think about what hasn't worked. It's not an easy road to world number 1. It never has been. And it's such a global sport, watched by billions around the world. This man here fills the stadium, and it's not for lack of effort. The hard work pays off to get him through to the round of 16.
And there he will face Alexis Lebrun of France, who defeated Shinsuke Togami in 5 games yesterday. And that is the story of today's match. Impressive. QUADRI ADUNA's longest winning point streak, 6 versus 5 for WANG CHUQIN, just shows that it was a lot closer than the straight games win suggests. But congratulations to the world number 2 through to the round of 16.